Good evening, Mustang fans, Mustang Nation out there all around the country. I'm Jim Beatty, and welcome to Mustang Vision. We've got a great clash tonight as the Lynx from North Linn, perfect on the season, 19-0, come into Mount Vernon. Coach versus coach, good friends, best buddies, former coaches on this North Linn team together. And the Mustangs 12-7, looking to defend the home court with the postseason right in everybody's windshield. We are getting set for a great battle tonight between two very high-quality teams. Mustang Vision, it is my privilege to bring it to you tonight. Again, free, as it has been all season long, all year long, and all of our seasons. Brought to you by the many businesses here in Mount Vernon and Lisbon. Our maroon sponsors, Ability Physical Therapy, Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency, Bunch Heating and Cooling, Gary's Foods, Lynch Ford Chevrolet, Downtown Dental, Iowa Physical Therapy, Holland Hall Engineering, Copenhagen Associates, Lunescus Consulting, Mount Vernon Bank and Trust Company, Robison Construction, Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa, the Greater Cedar Rapids Community Foundation, our platinum sponsor, Yawkes Landing, our gold sponsors, Mount Vernon Family Dentistry, Cows Team, Palisades Family Dental, Scores and Wilkie's Liquor, U.S. Bank Home Mortgage Purchase and Refinancing, and our silver sponsors for this winter, Mount Vernon Chiropractic, Mercy Care Community Physicians, Dance Arts Iowa, Trevor Parks Construction, Mount Vernon Insurance Agency, Mount Vernon Eye Clinic, Fry Pet Hospital, and Lynn Woodley Construction. Those are our sponsors. You'll hear more from them tonight. You'll also see their logos parading across the upper right corner of your screen. That is hanging over the south court, the south end of the basketball court here in Mount Vernon. Both teams took off back to their locker room, and we're going to, while they're in their locker room, we're going to go ahead and feature the pregame interview that Coach Sanderson has got tapped up for us, and we'll be back to.
Good evening, Mustang Nation. This is Coach Sanderson here, and I am joined for tonight's pregame by senior sensation Lily C. Now, LC, this has been your senior year. You've had a great year here so far. What have you enjoyed most about playing on this team this year?
I would say the thing that I've enjoyed the most this year is the energy we have on our team. Everyone's typically in a good mood, and we just always have a good time at practices and games.
Well, from our perspective, LC, one of the fun things about being around this team is that you guys really seem to enjoy being together, whether that's in practice or the locker room, on the bus, team dinners, whatever it might be. How would you describe the chemistry of this year's team?
I think one thing that's unique about our team is that we are just there for each other's successes, and that's a really cool thing to have a part of a team. And like you said, we do enjoy being around each other. We're just always having a good time, making the most of all the time we get to spend together.
Now, LC, you've been serving on our Captain's Council for 2 years now. Last year you won it as the only junior. Now this year you're joined with Peyton Simpson as a junior, and then Laura and Cam, of course. How have you tried to lead this year's team?
I would say I always try to lead by example. So whether that's bringing energy with me to practices or just giving all the effort I can to try and push others to be at their best as well.
Now, the regional pairings were just released for Class 3A in the middle of last week, and we draw an opener with Tipton on Saturday, likely Assumption in the next round, and if all goes according to plan, perhaps another chance to play our friends from the South in a regional final. As you're kind of wrapping up your senior year, winding down, you're getting into the postseason stretch here. What are you looking forward to most as the postseason is now upon us?
I am really excited to see what our team can do, especially like if we can take down or if we can make it to third round. That game that is potentially against Solon, I think, could be maybe potentially one of the most fun games of high school. So I'm really excited for postseason.
Well, as a senior, we have to ask you the obligatory question of what are you going to do with the rest of your life once graduation is upon us here this May. So future plans, LC, what are you looking at down the road?
Well, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet with the rest of my life, but I think I'll go to college. Well, I know I'll go to college and hopefully do some studying abroad. I think that sounds pretty fun and interesting, but that's kind of the extent of what I know at this point.
Well, LC, we'll get you out of here on this. As you reflect back on the last 4 years of involvement here in the Mount Vernon girls basketball program and really just a leadership role that you played for us over the last couple of years, what do you think you're going to miss most when your career comes to an end?
For sure, it's going to be the people. I feel really grateful for the people I get to surround myself with every day at practice. And it's going to be really hard not to see those people when the season comes to an end.
Well, without question, we will miss LC and all that she brings to our team, as well as our other seniors. Tomorrow night, you'll get to hear from Laura Swart in our pregame interview before our game with West Delaware. Tonight, we welcome the North Linn Lynx, ranked number 3 in Class 1A. They are a perfect 19-0 coming into tonight's game, on the verge of their 13th consecutive 20-win season. And a fun game for me personally tonight. Coach Wheatley brought me onto his staff the year before I came to Mount Vernon and is probably my closest friend in coaching. And so it's exciting to be able to square off against him again as we did back in the day when Springville and North Linn were rivals. What can you expect from the Lynx tonight? Well, a lot of full court pressure. They lead the entire state in all classes in three-point shooting percentage, just about 39%. As a team, they've got one of the most dynamic point guards in the state in Cameron Kurt, who was a first-team All-Stater last year as a sophomore. So we will certainly have our hands full tonight, but definitely excited for the challenge. Jim and Kirk, we're happy to be back home. Back to you.
Thanks to Coach Sanderson for that pregame interview, and I am flying solo tonight. My buddy Kirk Wishmeyer is traveling, so I've got duties. It's always nice to have Coach help me preview the game for tonight. Great to have him aboard, and an excellent interview with Lily C. there. I love the coach's nickname, LC. I grew up in the 70s, a Steeler fan, still a lifelong Steeler fan, and LC Greenwood, one of my favorite players from those 70s Steelers teams. So every time I hear him say LC, of course, I'm wanting to say go Steelers. So tonight, North Linn, 19-0, perfect team coming in, and they are electric. They're going to be led right off the bat by Cameron Kurt, Jr. She's their point leader. She's their point guard. So goes Cameron, so go the Lynx. She will push that basketball up the court and not just passing the ball, handling the ball, dribble drive penetration, shooting from the perimeter. Coach previewed how efficient they are and effective from the three-point perimeter. And so as we look ahead to the 3 keys to victory tonight, brought to you by Cause Team, fundraising to do some good or simply need some really great custom merch, our woman-owned, Iowa-based, big-hearted company has you covered. Contact the Cause Team. So the keys to the game tonight, take care of the ball. And we've seen this all season long. The Mustangs have to protect the basketball tonight. Not only does Cameron Kurt and crew handle the ball really well, but they are vicious on defense, and they will be very fast around the perimeter. They also have to contest the three-point line. So then looking on the defensive side, they've got to get out to extend that defense, challenge them at the perimeter, not let them have those free hands in the air. And then hunt great shots, and I think that's going to be the advantage that the Mustangs can find tonight. North Linn comes in, Class 1A, definitely not seeing the level of competition year-long that Mount Vernon has to play against. And that's going to give Mount Vernon that chance to use their height, their athleticism, and find a way to get up in this game. Inside-out movement, moving the ball around the perimeter, getting it inside, looking for great shots on the outside, hunting those great shots are going to be the 3 keys to victory brought to us from Coach Sanderson. It's time for starting lineups. We'll bring those out to you live here from the home gymnasium in Mount Vernon. I'm Jim Beatty. Mustang Vision is what you're listening to and watching tonight. Glad you're aboard as we get down towards the end of our regular season. One of the things that we do is recognize our officials and give them a warm round of applause. You see them there in the front of your screen, standing in front of the scorer's bench. That's Steve Klein, Jeff Bermel, and Ross Hemsley. Cannot say enough about the work that our officials do throughout the state. We need more officials. If you've got a passion for sport, and the ability to stay calm, cool, and collected and help engineer a game, there are ways for you to find yourself into the officiating ranks. Warm welcome for the crew from North Linn. They've brought quite a crowd with them, 19-0, that's no surprise. You can see them very well in your camera. And on my side of the gymnasium, healthy crew here in town for Mount Vernon to enjoy this non-conference matchup. Starting lineups for North Linn. First out is a senior, number 15, Elise Ware, 5'9" senior. Number 25, 5'8" junior, Macy Bogey. And a 5'8" sophomore, number 31, Molly Bogey. There's their point leader and field general, 5'6" junior, number 35, Cameron Kurt. And rounding out the Lynx lineup, 5'8" senior, number 55, Ellie Flanagan. It's time for your Mount Vernon Mustangs.
And now, the starting lineups for your Mount Vernon Mustangs.
Here they come.
Senior, number 5, Cameron.
Leading off as usual, 5'7", senior, number 5, Cameron Brand. Followed out by 5'8", freshman, number 10, Courtney Frank. Our senior interview and spotlight, 5'7" senior, number 11, Lily C.
Number 21,
Next out, 5'6" junior, number 21, Peyton Simpson. And 6'2" sophomore, Chloe Meester.
He's assisted by Lori Moss and Miranda Zelaya.
We'll have the national anthem, and we'll be ready for the tip-off. And national anthem concluded. That means one thing's left, and that's tip-off here in Mount Vernon between the Lynx and the Mustangs. Class 1A versus Class 3A. Number 13 versus number 3. Officials are ready. Coaches are ready. Players are ready. Mustangs first on the court. The Lynx are coached by Brian Wheatley, assisted by Kevin Gedkin. The Mustangs head coach, of course, Nate Sanderson, assisted by Ben Knake, Lori Moss, Miranda Zelatis, and Jake Meisner. Chloe Meester will be meeting in the circle with Elise Ware, 6'2" against 5'9". Place your bets on where the ball goes. Good coverage by the Lynx, expecting it to go in Meester's way. It does. Cameron Brand up to grab a hold of it. And we're underway. And they go right into Chloe Meester. Some backside defense helped by Elise Ware knocked the ball out of bounds. It'll be Mustang basketball. Brand inbounds it to Frank. Mustangs will stay patient on the perimeter. Looking in against the Lynx defense, and from the outside, a good look from Peyton Simpson doesn't go. Rebounded quickly by the Lynx. They move it into their court, north side of the gymnasium. They work the perimeter. Of course, at the top of the broadcast, we talked about their perimeter efficiency, and so they'll look often at the three-point line. They do go dump down inside to Ware, and they work the ball around all the way to the perimeter. Three-point shot, no good. Rebounded by Simpson. That was a miss by Macy Bogey. Frank with the basketball. Just gets it to Brand. And Meester inside. Got nicely around Ellie Flanagan for the first points of the game, 2-0. Flanagan with the basketball, back around through Ware. Ware dumps it down inside to Kurt. Kurt's going to back it out, finds the three-point line, shoots, no good, rebounded by Ware. Back to Kurt. Bogey with the basketball to Ware. Ware at the free throw line, gives it up, has it blocked by Meester. And the Mustangs on the attack. Meester down low. Inside often. That shot's going to be there all night long for Chloe Meester, as she's got several inches on the Lynx. Flanagan in the baseline corner to Bogey. Bogey shot, no good. Rebounded by Lily C. She sees a double team in the backcourt. One of the things Coach Sanderson told us to look out for was the full court pressure that the Lynx tried to apply. Again, they probably haven't seen as much athleticism as what you see in this Mustang crew. Simpson out to Brand, around to C, to Frank. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Frank from the elbow, gets to the block, tosses one up and makes it easy. Courtney Frank moving with the basketball, and a nice seal from Chloe Meester down low. Kurt walks the ball up, over to Bogey, to Flanagan, top of the key. Of course, the Lynx probably haven't seen the pressure that Frank is able to apply on that perimeter extended defense. Brand with the rebound, gets it outletted to C, and she'll work it across the floor to Frank. Mustangs in the 6-0 lead early. 3 minutes gone in this first quarter. They go back down to Chloe Meester. She bangs it off the backboard, and it lands on Macy Bogey as she was standing on the end line, so it'll stay with the Mustangs after the Meester miss. A lot of contact on that shot, but not a very good angle. She got deep. Brand to Simpson. Simpson drives baseline, throws it off of Bogey, and it'll be Mustang basketball. Just 12 on the shot clock now. Brand to Simpson. Inside out from Meester to Frank. They skip it around a little bit. C's going to drive it off the block, and a layup for Lily C. Her first points. 8-0 Mustangs. Courtney Frank putting a little pressure in the backcourt herself. Frank, one of those athletes that will quickly discern her advantage on the basketball court and then begin to use that systematically. Bogey with a three-pointer, and that's going to miss. Brand with a nice rebound in front of the older Bogey. Now Lily C., a lot of center court pressure, able to control her dribble. No points yet for the Lynx, and Meester with a miss. Again, a lot of contact on that shot, nothing called, and it'll be Lynx pressing the order of business. Bogey with a long three-pointer, no good, and Meester tips it out of a rebound from, that would have been Molly Bogey, the younger one. And a foul's going to be called. It'll be the first foul of the game. 4 minutes gone in the first quarter before we see a foul between these two teams. Substitutions for Coach Sanderson. Aaron Jackson comes in, and Brindley Rasmussen. So give a breather for Meester, who's been working hard, and bring in the other tower in Brindley Rasmussen. Lily C avoids 3 Lynx. Jackson for a three-pointer, and Aaron Jackson quickly buries one from the corner. That's a 3-point shot from Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency out of the hands of Aaron Jackson. And the quick timeout called by Coach Wheatley. 11-0, the Mustangs open the first quarter here. So much to talk about in that Lynx huddle. Coach Sanderson, no doubt, telling his team that they started on script. Look at those 3 keys to victory right out of the hat, taking care of the ball. The Mustangs with no turnovers to this point, able to contest the 3-point line very well. There's been 2 open shots, both of them missed. One by Kurt, one by Bogey that was deep. And then great shots. The Mustangs started early inside and out in this first quarter, and now they're able to see the perimeter open up at will. So everything working for Coach Sanderson, and the Lynx now inbound the basketball. Kurt hustles it up the court to Flanagan. Top of key to Bogey. Round to Kurt. Kurt skip pass almost over the head of Flanagan. She's able to grab it in the air. Bogey back to Flanagan. Lynx working that perimeter. That's where they want to shoot from. Flanagan with a long 3-pointer and off the front rim, rebounded by C. She takes it up high over the head of the defender. She's got a double team on her. Passes out of it as Frank came to help, and now they got an advantage 2-on-1. Aaron Jackson could not bounce it around Flanagan. Flanagan just strips it away from her. And then Flanagan down to Kurt, and Kurt for the first bucket for the Lynx. It's 11-2 Mustangs. There's the full court pressure we talked about. Mustangs are able to beat it. Lily C takes it to the block, passes out of it, almost turns it over, and Aaron Jackson drives baseline around to Brand. They work the perimeter. Brindley Rasmussen to C. C gives up the 3-pointer as Bogey was out to meet it. Now Aaron Jackson, baseline corner, opposite side, same result. Another Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency 3-pointer from Aaron Jackson. Just 3 points against Solon, and she's already doubled that tonight. And there's going to be a foul, a trip by Brindley Rasmussen on Macy Bogey. 14-2 Mustang lead, 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Macy Bogey gets it from her sister Molly and puts the little jumper in the middle of the lane for 2, and it's now 14-4. Brindley hands the ball off to Frank. Mustangs on offense, looking to press the score here. Lily C, top of key, takes a shot at the 3-pointer, missed it. Bogey with the rebound. Nice defense from C to hold up the fast break. And then Kurt finds an open 3-pointer, and that'll go in and out. Rasmussen with the rebound. Aaron Jackson for another 3-pointer. This one long, heat check. Stays 14-4. Kurt to Flanagan. Flanagan's 3-pointer on the way. Boy, they shoot a lot of them. Flanagan makes that one. Missed her first. It's now 14-7, cutting the Mustang lead in half. Full court pressure. Bogey up from behind on Frank, knocked it away. Now Kurt driving baseline. Passes into Ware, out top to Bogey, around to Flanagan. Flanagan another 3-pointer. Back rim, no good, but Kurt with the rebound. Lynx with a little momentum grab here. Have climbed back into this game and have a chance to pretty much close the first quarter, getting it back to maybe a two-possession lead. Ware to Kurt, and Kurt's 3-pointer, nothing but net. 14-10. Frank with the basketball with 15 seconds. Gets stopped at the block. And double team for the backside. Kurt knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay Mustang basketball with 7 on the clock. Now what you see in front of you, the Lynx substitute 5 for 5. So they come in waves, and that was the thing that another point to the opportunity that the Mustangs have is to try to take advantage of the second wave. Well, they've taken advantage of the first wave. Let's see what they can do here against the second wave. Frank will be fouled on her way to the basket. Now it'll be the second foul on the Lynx. Allie Hagenberry gets that foul. Frank with a free throw. And she makes them both. 16-10. And the last second shot of the quarter goes wide out of Kurt. And so at the end of the first quarter, the Mustangs up 16-10 on the Lynx. Boy, they had a commanding start to this game. And then the pressure of the Lynx and some timely shooting. You make three-point baskets and you can cut into a lead in a hurry. And Ellie Flanagan with 2 3-pointers and Cameron Kurt with 1. That's not right. Flanagan with 1, Kurt with 1. Mustangs led so far. Erin Jackson with 6 points. Right behind her, Chloe Meester with 4. And she's been on the bench for a good little rest and will be ready for the second quarter to start. Want to make sure that you know that tomorrow night will be senior night for the Mustangs. You'll have a chance to watch the game. Kirk Wishmeyer and Paul Fugit on for the broadcast tomorrow night as they wrap up the regular season. Cameron Kurt around to Bogey, Molly to Macy, and back to Kurt. Lynx work that perimeter, down inside to Ware. And they found an open Macy Bogey, but Chloe Meester with the block. And the Mustangs just able to hang on to the basketball. The Lynx just super aggressive with their defense. Erin Jackson from top of the key. And they're going to give her the three-pointer for that one. Another Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency three-pointer. Erin Jackson is 3 for 4 tonight. And there's a three-pointer back the other way by Macy Bogey. Got a turnover by the Mustangs, only their second. Then a nice work by Courtney Frank to get her hand on it. Erin Jackson to Courtney Frank. And she'll have the layup knocked out of bounds by Macy Bogey. So it's 19-13. Two teams coming out, trading punches here at the start of the second quarter. Brand inbound to Frank, way up top. Peyton Simpson back in along with Chloe Meester. Simpson's going to be short. And then Erin Jackson just out-hustles for the rebound. And they restart the shot clock, but started it late. Simpson took that shot really quickly. This will be a fresh 35 for the Mustangs. She barely drew iron. Erin Jackson alertly underneath that rim. Gives up to her dribble and throws it away, and then a double dribble from Cameron Kurt. She went to take a dribble and a pass and realized there wasn't anybody to pass to and held it a little too long. Frank with Kurt all over Chloe Meester. Flanagan guarding her. Now Aaron Jackson up top. Lily C is set to come back in for some ball handling duties. Flanagan fouls Meester from behind. And that'll be the third team foul for the Lynx. First for Flanagan. Cameron Brand will take a rest as Lily C comes in. Aaron Jackson up top to Courtney Frank, back down to Chloe Meester. She turns on Flanagan, out to Peyton Simpson, and three-pointer might have gotten a hand from Molly Bogey, but it was a miss either way. And now the Lynx, chance to cut this to a single possession. Flanagan gets it to roll off the back iron and in. And it is a three-point lead for the Mustangs. Lily C gets it through the backcourt, takes it all the way into the lane, sees Flanagan, tries to get it up over the rim, gets her own rebound, tosses out to Jackson. Good work down there. Chloe Meester turns and fires over to Simpson. Simpson for a three-pointer. Finally gets it to go. Peyton Simpson, another Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency. Three-pointer from Peyton Simpson, her first of the game, 22-16 Mustangs. Kurt to Bogey to Flanagan, working that perimeter. Ware inside and out to Kurt. Kurt with a little dribble action. Gets it back from the two Bogies. Inside to Flanagan on a drive, penetration, and Meester with the vicious swat out of bounds. And Cameron Brand back in quickly. Just a brief rest as Aaron Jackson's now taking a break. The starting five back out there for the Lynx. High up top to Molly Bogey. Now Flanagan working on Meester. 1 second. Kurt not able to get it to go. Well, they evidently, they said it was off in time, and alertly Ware underneath to make the putback. And Lily C is going to be fouled by Ware. Fans on both sides of this gymnasium, if you can hear them in the crowd feed, not happy with the last two calls. Want a call, want a no call. Courtney Frank's three-pointer is going to be long off the back iron, and Brand will be called over the back. To the appreciation of the east side of the gym. Bogey inbounds to Kurt. Frank with a little token pressure, and then she backs off. Now Flanagan. Bogey up top. Peyton Simpson comes out. Ware turns, drives down to Meester, kicks out to Bogey. Three-pointer no good on the baseline corner. Cameron Frank with the rebound. Now Lily C. Back iron no good. Chloe Meester trying to get the rebound. It'll go off of her out of bounds. Courtney Frank could not get that to go.
Into the Lynx. Wheatley, Bennett, Huckleberry, Bridgewater, Peter.
22-18 is your score.
For the Mustangs, Frank.
Taylor Frank now in for the Mustangs. Along with Cameron Brand, Lily C, Chloe Meester. Chloe down in front, forces the ball back out. Down low, goes off of Emily Buter, out of bounds. It'll be a turnover to the Mustangs. 3.5 to go in the half. And full court pressure from the Lynx. Taylor Frank comes in to get it, bounces off to Lily C. She's going to drive around a little bit, open up a lane to get across the center line, and she'll dribble it on the sideline. As Megan Wheatley came up to help out on the double team, just would not leave her, and Lily C couldn't find a passing lane. So back-to-back turnovers This is the second wave for the North Linn Lynx. Mackenzie Bridgewater, Ollie Hagenberry. That's Mackenzie Bridgewater, and that's the bucket from Bridgewater. It's 22-20. Lily C gets it into the backcourt and turns the ball. Oh, Chloe Meester alertly grabs a hold of it. Gets it to Peyton Simpson, now off to Taylor Frank. Taylor Frank, three-pointer, no good, off the back iron, rebounded by Bridgewater. Bridgewater to Skylar Benish, also on that 5-out swap for the Lynx. Inside out, Megan Wheatley, coach's daughter, down low, underneath the foul line. Got Hallie Hagenberry was blocked. They were able to pick it back up. Now Hagenberry at the free throw line. Underneath to Emily Buter, and she'll be fouled in the act of shooting. I believe that's on Peyton Simpson. Nope. It's on Lily C. Her first foul. Brinley Rasmussen and Courtney Frank in. Chloe Meester, Peyton Simpson go out. And the starting five for the Lynx back in. Kurt inbound for the Lynx, just down 2 with 2 minutes to go. Lily C with the steal, but she could not handle it. And stepped on the end line, so it'll be Lynx basketball. High up top to Kurt. Frank on her. She goes all the way to the rim and misses it. It'll be Lily C for the rebound. They're going to go off of Ware out of bounds. It'll be Mustang basketball on the miss by Kurt. Frank to Brand to Rasmussen. And now back to Frank at the center court line. Just got her foot down before she grabbed that basketball. Frank to Brand, they work the perimeter. Lily C down low to Brinley Rasmussen. Could not find a handle and turned it over to Bogey. Flanagan high up top. Frank flashes at her. Flanagan drives baseline, flips it up from the block and rebounded by Brand. C to Frank. Frank bounces it to Rasmussen. Up to Brand. Brand for a three-pointer. Off of a couple of rims. Nice rebound by Taylor Frank, though. It'll be Mustang basketball with $1:17 left in the half. Aaron Jackson for Frank. Brand's going to go up top to C. 35-second reset on the shot clock. So the Mustangs can take their time here. Down to Rasmussen, out top to C with a collapse by the Lynx on Rasmussen. Much different than on Chloe Meester. Nice three-pointer from Cameron Brand. As Kurt fell across the floor trying to get out to defend that three-pointer. Nice passing by the Lynx. Gets Kurt open underneath. Back out to Ware. Ware tries to work around Rasmussen. Cannot find the rim. And Lily C with a rebound. And then she's going to throw it off of Cameron Brand out of bounds with the backcourt pressure. .30 seconds to go in the half. Mustangs up 5. Kurt. Shot clock's turned off for the rest of the half. And the Lynx are going to play for the last shot. Flanagan starts an offense. Almost had it tipped away by Frank. They're going to skip court to Flanagan. Flanagan's three-pointer off the front rim, no good. Brinley Rasmussen with a rebound. Bogey's able to get it, and at the buzzer, Bogey misses a two-point putback. And the Mustangs will end the half up 25-20, staving off another Lynx run and getting it getting it nearly back to the spread at the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break since I'm the only voice and I could use just a little gasp of air and a little drip of water. Here's a couple of our premium sponsors, our maroon sponsors, Lynch Ford Chevrolet Budget Blind.
Hi, I'm Lisa Lansing, and after a long wait, I'm excited to tell you that we're finally starting to see new vehicle inventory. Like these F-150s that are arriving daily, our dealership is one of the largest inventories in Eastern Iowa. That's Lynch Ford Chevrolet. Come see how we're selling a lot of cars in a very different way.
New window coverings are a fantastic way to update and transform a space, and in this part of the country, we hope you'll consider Budget Blinds. Your local franchisee, the Sill family, and their many team members recently received 2 huge national honors. They won the National Franchisee of the Year award from Budget Blinds, and they earned our National Best of the Best award for customer satisfaction based on their record of outstanding customer reviews for years. We love that Budget Blinds has the huge selection and buying power of a big national chain, but operates with the personal touch that comes with local family businesses. If you're looking for stunning blinds, shades, shutters, drapery, the Budget Blinds team has what you need both residentially and commercially. The Sill family will bring many great design ideas to the table in an in-home consultation. Then their installation teams will make sure that your window coverings are installed professionally, ensuring many years of enjoyment. Please visit budgetblinds.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. Budget Blinds, style and service for every budget.
Don't let your aches and pains go untreated. Don't be content with less than ideal function of your body. Get back to an active and progressing lifestyle with help from Ability Physical Therapy and Elite Fitness. At Ability Physical Therapy and Elite Fitness, our team of professional therapists, trainers, and office staff are dedicated to getting you back in your optimal physical function. Choose one of our 4 convenient locations in Center Point, Marion, Mount Vernon, and Solon. For total patient care, choose Ability Physical Therapy.
Well, and some halftime activities here, typical this time of the year in Mount Vernon, as post-prom sponsors the half-court shot. Throw a buck in the kitty. If you make it, you get a snack from the concession stand. Otherwise, all of the proceeds go to help fund the post-prom activities here. While that's taking place, I'm going to put our Venmo account on the screen for you. If you've got a smartphone, take a shot of that QR code. It'll take you to our Venmo account. And we invite you to consider participating with the Booster Club in support of Mustang Vision. Again, these great companies, you saw 3 of them there, Ability Physical Therapy, Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa, and Lynch Ford Chevrolet. They're 3 of our maroon sponsors. Maroon sponsor allows you to submit a commercial to be seen during the game. They are joined by, of course, not short of any 3-point calls tonight, Richardson Hanson Holtz Insurance Agency, with 5 3-pointers already tonight by the Mustangs. And as well as Bunch Heating and Cooling, Gary's Foods, Downtown Dental, Iowa Physical Therapy, Holland Hall Engineering, Copenhagen Associates, and I'll have the player of the game on their sponsorship tonight. Linescus Consulting, Mount Vernon Bank and Trust Company, Robinson Construction, Greater Cedar Rapids Community Foundation, and then following them, the platinum sponsor, Yox Landing. Gold sponsors, taking up 2 of our 4 seasons, Mount Vernon Family Dentistry, Cause Team, Palisades Family Dental, Scores Wilkie Liquors, U.S. Bank Home Mortgage Purchase and Refinancing, and then our silver sponsors, Mount Vernon Chiropractic, Mercy Care Community Physicians, Dance Arts Iowa, Trevor Parks Construction, Mount Vernon Insurance Agency, Mount Vernon Eye Clinic, Fry Pet Hospital, and Lynn Woodley Construction. Those are our sponsors. Appreciate them very much. Our leading scorer for the Mustangs at the half is Aaron Jackson on 3 for 4, shooting from beyond the arc. And you just missed Matt Tatey coming out, our activities director, and making a half-court shot. Something he does quite frequently. Peyton Simpson was 1 for 4 from behind the arc. And Cameron Brand was 1 for 2 from behind the arc. So nice distribution of points for the Mustangs. Leading scorer Aaron Jackson with 9, and then 4 scorers of 3 and 4 apiece. Cameron Brand, Courtney Frank, Chloe Meester, and Peyton Simpson. And let's see. Leading scorer for the Lynx. 11. 18, yep, I actually have all of the points tonight. I can't believe I do that. But leading scorer is Ellie Flanagan on 2 3-pointers. She shot 2 for 4 behind the arc and missed 2 inside, so 2 for 6 overall. She's got 6 in the first half. Cameron Kurt, their leading point scorer, with 5, joined by Macy Bogey at 5, and then a couple of more at 2 apiece. So if you look back at the cause team, 3 keys to victory for those Mustangs, taking care of the ball. I mentally remember just 3 turnovers for the Mustangs. It might have been 4. Might have been 4 with one coming late in that second quarter. But otherwise, really taking care of the basketball. There's been a couple of games where their turnover total has been quite high. And so really taking care of the basketball against a Lynx defense that has been tremendous, very active against our penetration, particularly after that first run the Mustangs put together early in the first quarter. Contesting the three-point line, again, considering the way that the Lynx shoot three-pointers on the season, they've got just 4, and they are 4 of 12, so shooting just 33% on the night. And I believe, if I recall, Coach mentioning in the pregame that they shoot better than that. Looks like 39% on the season. So pretty effective. Also, their effective field goal percentage is 56%, so holding them well under their average, and then hunting great shots. And when you look at 25 points for these Mustangs in that first half, no doubt they are well down the road on their 3 keys to victory. North Linn, the first one out of the locker room. They're going to warm up on that south end, front of their bench and their fans. They'll be shooting down there for the second half. And the Mustangs just starting to trickle out of the locker room. You'll see them come into your frame momentarily. The North Linn on the season, again, Cameron Kurt, just 5 in the first half, averages 17.9 a contest. Macy Bogey averages 12.9. She's sitting at 5. Molly Bogey averages 11.5. She was held scoreless in that first half. And along with that, the low scoring, the assists aren't following, and we've got some work to do. As Peyton Simpson, just 3 points in that first half. She's our leading scorer so far in the season at 10.5 a game. But what you see out of these Mustangs, great distribution of points. Peyton Simpson at 10.5, Lily C at 9.6, Chloe Meester at 8.6. And if you look all the way down the lineup for significant minutes, you'll see kind of a point total similar than that. A couple of them in the 6, 5, 8, all around those numbers. So we'll see what the second half holds for these Mustangs. Coach Sanderson had to be pretty pleased with the performance of that first half. And I would imagine there are definitely some building blocks there. One of them would be poise. And I think when the Lynx made their 3 runs, the first one came about halfway through that first quarter. The second one came near about the 3-minute mark in the second quarter, and then they made that good push at the end before the 3-pointer by the Mustangs, by Cameron Brand. So 3 different runs that the Lynx put together, and in all 3 of those, they were generated by turnovers and rush shots. And if the Mustangs can cure those, the turnovers and the rush shots, maintain that poise, they should be able to add that and key in this victory. But we're ready to go. Fresh 8 on the clock here for the third quarter. And the Mustangs first on the court. Starting 5 out there, Lily C., Chloe Meester, Peyton Simpson, Cameron Brannon, Courtney Frank. And you guessed it, starting 5 for the Lynx out there, Ellie Flanagan, Cameron Kurt, Molly and Macy Bogey, and Elise Ware. It'll be Mustang basketball on alternate possession. No significant foul trouble for either team right now. Courtney Frank works the basketball down to Chloe, back out to Brand. That inside-out action that they wanted to use to get good looks. Ended up with several really good shots for Chloe Meester, not having to pass out the basketball. Lily C. is fouled on the entry pass. Cameron Kurt with her second foul early here in the second half. Cameron Brown inbound to Lily C. to Peyton Simpson. Works off the block, has it knocked out of her hands by Molly Bogey. Simpson able to grab it. She works off a Chloe Meester screen, and Peyton Simpson misses the three-pointer, rebounded by Elise Ware. And now the Lynx, first chance to score points here in the second half. Flanagan winds up from deep three-point, and she missed it. Cameron Brown with the rebound and threw it off of Elise Ware out of bounds. Flanagan not hesitating to shoot it from deep tonight. That's her second one from way downtown. Simpson almost has the ball stolen twice from her. She'll pass out of it to Brand, and hitting a Courtney Frank on the run back to Lily C. to Chloe Meester, and hey, she lost control of it into Cameron Kurt, who then lost control of it, and Cameron Brand. And they're going to call Elise Ware for the push as Peyton Simpson was trapped on the sideline, stepped in the end line, or on the sideline, but not before the hip check. So it'll be Mustang basketball. Both teams turning the ball over here multiple times. Brand inbound to Frank. Frank gets it in the center. And now the Mustangs will start their offense. Brand back to C. Gets into the lane, out to Frank. Frank back into C, and it's tipped away. Nice play by Molly Bogey into the hands of Flanagan. And Flanagan turns it over to Courtney Frank. Defensive pressure, and Flanagan swats Courtney Frank to the ground. That'll be 2 shots for Frank. Ellie Flanagan was not enjoying that turnover. Now Frank to shoot 2. And the first point of the second half comes on a free throw by Courtney Frank. And that one's a miss. Lily C. will be called over the back on Flanagan. That's Lily C's second. First team foul for the Mustangs. And a travel as Courtney Frank put great pressure on Molly Bogey at the center circle. So the Mustangs up 26-20. Cross-court pass to Simpson. Now bounce to C in the baseline corner. And they're going to call Flanagan pushing on Meester, I believe. Yep, that's her third. And so the first time not substituting 5. Coach Wheatley comes in to sub for Flanagan, and Ware comes out as well. Mackenzie Bridgewater and Emily Buter in for the Lynx. Simpson. Down to Meester, back to Simpson. Simpson's three-pointer, nothing but net. Peyton Simpson opens her scoring in the second half with the Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency three-pointer, 29-20 Mustangs. Bridgewater back to Bogey. Bogey gets it back to Bridgewater. Inside to Kurt on the block, finds Meester in front of her, out to Bogey, who did not score in the first half and does not get that one to go, but a nice rebound by Buter. Kurt finds it on the perimeter, and C was just all over her. Now she's going to get a three-pointer look this time, and it goes in and out, rebounded, though, by Buter. She passes out of it to Macy Bogey. Now to Bridgewater. Bridgewater sees a double team, and they're going to call a timeout. Coach Wheatley is going to call timeout. Now they show 4 timeouts for Mount Vernon, and that as the first timeout, they're taking timeouts off the wrong side of the scoreboard is what they're doing. So that is also a Coach Wheatley timeout. In fact, I'm going to see if I can get a hold of them on the scores table. All right, and here we are back out of the timeout. Lynx basketball. Bogey inbounds to Kurt, back to Kurt around the perimeter. Macy Bogey to Kurt, inside to Macy Bogey. She finds Meester in front of her, tries to throw it up, and there's Buter with another rebound. And out to Molly Bogey, missed her three-pointer. Kurt is going to be run into by Lily C for the foul. And Kurt makes a free throw. First point scored in the second half by the Lynx. And the second does not go. And Meester's finally able to get a rebound in front of Buter. Meester gets the ball down low and easily up over the top of Buter. Having a hard time rebounding, but she's able to get the bucket to go. It's 31-21 Mustangs with the lead. Macy Bogey with a shot from the free throw line, in and out. They work perimeter again. Now Molly Bogey, three-pointer, in and out. And a rebound by Cameron Brandt. She keeps the ball up high, passes out of it to Peyton Simpson, and they're off and running. The Mustangs all the way to the block, and it'll be a foul on Molly Bogey out of bounds. That was the second foul by Molly Bogey. Courtney Frank from the elbow. And a nice little jump shot by Courtney Frank. Makes it 33-21. And there's another Coach Wheatley timeout. We'll see if they catch up on the scoreboard. They're still showing timeouts being taken from Mount Vernon. And they did take another one from Mount Vernon. So that's 2 timeouts left for Coach Wheatley. And I think we've got a fan that is told the coaching staff now, so they'll get that corrected. I might have got caught spectating just a little bit here and have missed a few of the misses from the Lynx, but they've scored just 1 free throw here in the second half in the first 4 minutes. Lynx coming out of the timeout by Coach Wheatley, working perimeter. Bridgewater to Bogey. Courtney Frank high up in the air to defend that. Skip pass to Kurt, off to Macy Bogey, and a missed three-pointer air ball caught by Cameron Brand. Courtney Frank pulls the ball out from the elbow. Up top to Brand, and then to down and low to Brynlee Rasmussen, and a nice hook shot from Rasmussen for her first points. 35-21 Mustangs. Bogey to Bogey. Back to Macy Bogey. Down inside to Cameron Kurt. Smallest player on the court, down low in front of Brynlee Rasmussen. Nice seal block from Rasmussen on the missed three-pointer from Bogey. But Mustangs turn it over on a fast break. Brand airmails Courtney Frank. Courtney Frank with a little backcourt pressure. Kurt gets it off to Bridgewater. Bogey to Kurt. Aaron Jackson in for the Mustangs. Molly to Macy, back to Molly Bogey. Inside to Kurt. They're going to dish out to Bridgewater, so three-pointer, and they'll call that a good one for Mackenzie Bridgewater for their first field goal of the second half, 35-24. Mustangs get it down. Simpson to Jackson to Frank, back around to Brand, quickly to Simpson. Simpson gets around Bridgewater and a little jumper inside, and Simpson gets the two-pointer to go. Nice work, got Bridgewater in the air, 37-24. 2:15 to go in the third quarter. Molly Bogey inside to Kurt, back out to Bogey. A skip pass to her sister Macy. And back over to Kurt. Courtney Frank almost got that ball off of Bridgewater, and the pressure was able to get the steal by Simpson on the inbound pass. Bridgewater had to get rid of it quickly and tried to dump it inside, and there was Simpson on a nice dive interception. So the Mustangs inside to Rasmussen, outside to Jackson, three-pointer, a little long this time, and on the backside, Macy Bogey with the rebound. Into the lane, Kurt with the miss. She goes to the floor, rebounded by the Mustangs. Simpson to Brand, and it's tipped away by Macy Bogey. Now Kurt out running. Cameron Brand gets her stopped, but she finds Molly Bogey on the backside. Nice run in the floor by the Lynx, 37-26, a minute to play in the third quarter. Frank sees a double team. And before she could call a timeout, Molly Bogey, they're going to say a timeout called by Coach Sanderson before the call. So Coach Sanderson alertly saves the possession. And I think you could probably imagine how the feeling stands on that in the gymnasium, depending on which side your ears are pointed. You're hearing different things right now. This is the first timeout by Coach Sanderson, a Gary's Foods timeout. And that leaves Coach with 4, a master at saving those timeouts when he needs them most late in the game, like that one right there. So the Mustangs up 5. Well, let's say that. Let's go back. Up 6 at the end of the first quarter, up 5 at the end of the second quarter. Now with an 11-point spread on these Lynx from North Linn. Perfect on the season, 19-0. Third ranked in Class 1A. But the Mustangs playing just a gauntlet of a season. Both in the WAMAC and also in non-conference play. Not afraid to play any class level. Stay tuned after the game as we'll have our coach interview. Nate Sanderson will take a few minutes with the girls in the locker room, and then he'll make his way up here, and we'll have a post-game discussion. Always glad for the time with him and to look ahead to the postseason. Lily C gets into the lane, and she'll be fouled on the floor before the shot. 38 seconds left. That will be a new 35-second. 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Rasmussen cannot catch the inbound. Tries to throw it back inside, and Buter comes up with it. So the turnover for the Mustangs leaves the Lynx with the ball. Wheatley almost has it turned over. And there's a three-pointer by Skylar Benish to make it 37-29. Here's that second wave for the Lynx, and they're going to get a turnover. Although Lily C was able to get it from becoming a fast break, she tied it up for a jump ball, alternate possession to the Lynx. So with 15 seconds, the Lynx can cut into this lead once more. Get it back to either 5 or 6, depending on the shot here. Inside to Buter, up over Rasmussen. They're going to call Rasmussen with a foul. Wow, she was straight up in the air, and he said no, she was hanging over her. So with no time on the clock, Buter's going to shoot 2. Buter makes the first. And misses the second. And so we'll go to the quarter break, 37-30. Mustangs up 6 at the first quarter, 5 at the second quarter, 7 here in the third quarter. And they're making adjustments to the timeouts now so that it looks right on the scoreboard. You are seeing that in your lower left-hand corner. The Lynx are never out of a basketball game. A combination of that trade 5-for-5 wave action on their substitutions and their defensive intensity. And one of the things that they've not been constant in their full court pressure, which has surprised the Mustangs at times when they've turned around after a made basket or turned around after a turnover, and all of a sudden there's 3 players in the backcourt putting pressure, and they haven't seen it for a couple of minutes, and it's so that kind of give and take Coach Wheatley's putting in for the full court press has, I think, caused as much problem as anything. It'll be Mustang basketball coming out of the quarter break. 8 to play. Brandon inbound to C. Who prevails, home court or perfect record? Cameron Kurt putting a lot of pressure on Lily C. She gets rid of it to Meester. Meester will get it back from Frank. Out to Simpson, around to C. Inside to Meester. Meester turns in the lane, throws it up, and it almost went in. That will be the 4th or the 5th on Flanagan. It's on Flanagan. That's her 4th foul. So Flanagan had sat out most of that third quarter due to foul trouble. And Chloe Meester is going to miss the first. And she gets one more. That one does not go either. So it'll be the Lynx with a chance to open the fourth quarter scoring. Round to Kurt. Back to Bogey, to Flanagan in the baseline corner. C way out on her. The Mustangs had slacked just a little bit in the perimeter defense. They're using that inside action with Kurt, the smallest player on the floor, getting some perimeter shots. Oh, and they're going to call a travel on Peyton Simpson as she was pushed by Kurt. It's 37-30 still. Courtney Frank wrestling Cameron Kurt for the basketball. Kurt comes up with it. And starting the possession up top, gets around C, out to Flanagan. Flanagan moves on Chloe Meester, and Meester caught her in the air. She'll be called for the foul. Oh, and they call it a body foul, not in the air. I didn't think Meester was close enough to her to catch her, but that's only the first for Chloe Meester. No foul problems. Flanagan's first is good. 37-31. Emily Buter is going to come in for shooter. Try to steal some minutes for Flanagan. She makes both free throws. back to just a 5-point lead. Lynx score first to start the fourth. Lily C with Kurt standing in front of her, goes behind her back. Kurt steals it. One of the things that Coach Sanderson warned us, but then Kurt misses the layup. C with a rebound. Frank out to Simpson on the fast break, 2-on-2. Simpson ducks underneath, gets it to go up and around and back down again. Peyton Simpson with a great layup. That ball touched every part of that rim. Cameron Kurt now with the basketball, down 39-32. Ware back in for the Lynx. Macy Bogey. Chloe Meester up high to get the rebound. Brand gets it to C on the float across the center line. Now to Frank. Cross court to Simpson for a three-point look. In and out, no good. Meester got her hand on it, and C with the rebound. Back up for a layup. Lily C. 41-32. Here's the Mustangs with a 9-point lead. Molly Bogey to Kurt. Kurt turns and faces off the elbow. Finds an open Buter down low for the lay-in. Mustangs overplaying on defense. Got caught with no rotation. Courtney Frank has it stolen on the pass by Kurt. Dumps it to Ware, but Courtney Frank swipes across for the steal. Now the Mustangs with a 3-on-2. C gives it up to Brand for a three-point look. Oh, front rim no good. Cameron Kurt down 7. Lynx with the basketball. Getting close to the 5-minute mark. Molly Bogey inside to Ware. Ware gets to the block. Has it blocked by Chloe Meester. Brand alertly with the rebound, throw back into Chloe Meester, and Frank with the basketball. Here come the Mustangs. Frank to Brand, around to C. Ware standing in front of her. C's going to dribble back up to the wing. Down low to the block to Meester. Meester had it knocked out of her hand or bumped. Outlet to Kurt, and Kurt will be fouled by, take your pick, Frank or Simpson. Chloe Meester had the basketball in a great position inside the lane, tried to pass out of it. I couldn't tell whether she lost the handle or got bumped, but that foul will be on Peyton Simpson, her first. And Kurt makes the first of 2 free throws. Simpson out, Meester out, Rasmussen in, and Jackson in. And Kurt misses the second. Cameron Brand with the rebound. They're going to call a jump ball, possession to the Lynx. So the Lynx with another chance to cut into this lead. Down just 6, 41-35. Kurt inbounds up top to Molly Bogey. A three-pointer on the way. Missed wildly. Courtney Frank with the rebound, but she's going to be tied up by Emily Ware. I'm sorry, Elise Ware. These Lynx are everywhere on defense. Their hands are all over the place looking for that loose ball. C to Brand, to Rasmussen. They clear nicely. Rasmussen's going to dribble to the free throw line. She'll bounce it to Frank. Frank looks to drive lane and stopped by Macy Bogey. Rasmussen gets it on the block, turns on Flanagan, tied up by Ware, passes out of it. Oh, and called her 3 seconds in the lane. Wow. So it'll be Lynx basketball, still down 6. Just a little more than 4 to play. Flanagan back in for the Lynx. She gets the ball back. Playing a little catch with Molly Bogey up top. Now Macy, right side. They'll work perimeter again. Kurt to Molly. Back to Kurt. Now Flanagan, she'll shoot from anywhere. Threatened it, passed out of it, skip pass. Frank with the steal on the pass to Kurt. She's going to hold up, look for some help. Finds Aaron Jackson, gets the ball back to the block, passes out of it. Aaron Jackson for a three-pointer, no good. On the weak side rebound is Macy, bogey. And Frank's going to be called for a foul as she hustled down and pressured the pass to Kurt. That's just her first. Can you believe that? As hard as Courtney Frank works on defense, just her first foul. Molly Bogey into Kurt. Over to Macy. Back to Kurt. Working perimeter. Flanagan's got it now. Bogey, Flanagan. Erin Jackson is quickly out on Flanagan. She needs just a half second. Now Kurt with a deep one. Front rimmed it, no good. Lily C with the rebound. There's 3 Lynx. They're going to tie her up. And they're going to call a foul this time. Oh, they're going to say Coach Sanderson called a timeout. Coach Sanderson with those 4 timeouts, willing to burn one there to maintain possession. Every single rebound, there are 3 Lynx around the basketball, and all a Mount Vernon player needs to do is turn around to try to find an outlet pass, and there are hands on the basketball. That's got to be a subject in this timeout, this Gary's Foods timeout called for Coach Nate Sanderson. Still a 6-point lead for the Mustangs at the 3-minute mark. Mustang possession, alternate possession arrow points in the favor of the Lynx. 3 timeouts for the Mustangs, 2 timeouts for the Lynx. Mustangs are in the bonus. 1 more foul for the Mustangs, and the Lynx will be shooting the rest of the way out. Cameron Frank working on Molly Bogey. Goes behind her back, beats the center line. She sees Emily Ware, or Elise Ware, as she turned around, and they clear it. Now they're able to set their offense up. Good. Now Lily C. working with Elise Ware all over, hedging up high. Lily C. down into the lane, and they're going to call a foul on Elise Ware before Kurt took the charge. That'll put Lily C. on the line to shoot 1-on-1. Now Flanagan back in as Coach Wheatley works offense for defense. Flanagan having those 4 fouls. Buter's played a great game defensively for the Lynx, coming in subbing for Flanagan often tonight. C with a first free throw. Oh, C short arms that one. Rebounded by Flanagan. Here come the Lynx. Flanagan fakes a 3-pointer, bounces it to Macy Bogey. 3-pointer no good, off the iron. Rebounded by Brand, and they quickly get the outlet. Frank to Brand in the center, out to C. Cross-court pass to Jackson for an open 3-point look. Nothing but net. Erin Jackson, a Richardson, Hanson, Holtz. Insurance agency 3-pointer, up 10 are the Mustangs. 2 minutes to play. Now Flanagan's 3-pointer, that is nothing but net. Ellie Flanagan, and Coach Wheatley calls a timeout. He's got 1 left. And that gets it back to a 7-point lead. These teams have been at this distance pretty much the entire game. Mustangs jumped out to a quick early lead, and the Lynx started battling back. Have been able to maintain a 5 to 7 point spread most of the rest of the game. Occasionally with a 10 or 11 point lead worked back up again by the Mustangs. Had a good lead right before the half, and then another late run by the Lynx to cut it to 5. We'll see what the last 2 minutes hold. 8 fouls on the Lynx, then 2 more to the double bonus, and some foul trouble for the Lynx as well. Mustangs, no appreciable foul trouble. Still just 6 team fouls. It'll be Mustang basketball. You'll see full court pressure from the Lynx. Chloe Meesker back in. Peyton Simpson back in. Brand to C. Pressure by Molly Bogey. Almost stole it. C just runs right up the court, and she'll double dribble. She was looking for Chloe Meester for the pass. Chloe was not looking at her, so she couldn't pass it. And took that extra step. So 2 minutes to go, 7-point lead. Lynx with the basketball. Kurt working the Lynx down the court quickly. Flanagan to Kurt. Mustangs are extending that perimeter defense. Elise Ware recognizes it, goes baseline, has it blocked by Chloe Meester. Outlet pass from Frank, overthrows Peyton Simpson. There's a three-point miss from the Lynx, rebounded by Lily C, and should be fouled by Cameron Kurt. That'll be 1-1 for Lily C down on the line for the Mustangs. $1:30 on the clock. Two free throws here definitely seals this. The way the Mustangs play defense. There's the first. You can tell how this has become a much more defensive-minded second half. And Lily C short with the second again. Little late yell from the Lynx crowd. There's a three-pointer on the way from Macy Bogey, in and out. Brand with a rebound. Frank is going to drive it up court. She'll be pressured by Elise Ware and fouled by Molly Bogey. Be Courtney Frank to shoot 1-on-1. No, they're going to call that on Elise Ware. Nope. Definitely Molly Bogey. I read the hand signals wrong. Frank with the first one. Bridgewater back in for the Lynx. Ware goes out. Mustangs clear the line. And Frank misses the second. Kurt with a three-pointer, nothing but net. Lynx say we're not done yet. 1:09 to play, just down 6. And that'll be Coach Wheatley's last timeout. Be a full timeout. So 6-point lead, Mustangs with the basketball, Lynx with the possession arrow. Length of the court to go for the Mustangs, and 1:09, 69 seconds on that clock. We're in for a barn-burning ending to this game, especially as quick as the Lynx move that basketball. No pressure there from the defense. And Cameron Kurt with an open look to make that three-pointer. Just her 5th point that I've got her for in the second half, so 5 in each half. Cameron Brand to Frank. Brand gets it back. She'll pass out of it to Frank. Try to beat the clock down. They get it around Molly Bogey. Pressure by the Lynx, and there's going to be a foul on Lily C. They want her at the line. She's made 1 of 2 the last 2 trips. It's Cameron Kurt's 4th. One more, and she'll be disqualified. Flanagan coming back in after this first free throw. This is double bonus for the Mustangs. Makes the first. It's almost like Lily anticipates that screen that's coming out of the student section for North Linn. And she's short-armed the last 2 follow-up free throws. And that one's short-armed as well.
Good on one.
Lynx basketball, Molly Bogey off to Macy Bogey. She drives baseline, gets it in for a layup. 44 seconds, 5-point lead. Lily C gives up her dribble, sees a double team, passes out of it. Coach Sanderson alertly, he's got 3 timeouts in his pocket. Why not use one? Coach Nate Sanderson is a wizard with possession control. That'll be a 30-second timeout. So it'll be just a quick break here. Hey, if you are looking for all your home financing needs, U.S. Bank Home Mortgage reminds you, contact James Erickson. He's there for all your home financing needs. Reminder that we've got 2 things coming up towards the end of the game here. We'll be working on selecting our player of the game, and it's a tough one. We've got our work cut out for us. If you've got a suggestion on the player of the game, hey, why don't you shoot me a text? You can do so 319-533-4258. Who do you think's been the top player? I'll take a poll, see what we get. 319-533-4258. Nice pass from Brand to C. C gets loose down to the lane, passes out of it to Brand. No reason to shoot, and then Brand's going to be fouled. Should be fouled by Skylar Benish. But we've got the Copenhagen Associates player of the game coming up here shortly in about 30 seconds. Let's give it a minute and a half or so from now. And then not long after the girls leave the court, Coach Sanderson make his way back up here to the booth, and we'll have a quick interview with him. Cameron Brand misses the first. She'll have one more. 30 seconds left. Mustangs up 5. And she gets the second to go. Mustangs scored 25 in the first half, and they're 1 away from scoring 25 in the second half. Oh, that should have been a walk on Molly Bogey. Passes it off to Elise Ware, gets it back now to Kurt. Kurt has to drive as there's double pressure behind the arc. Macy Bogey, 3-pointer, and makes it. It's a 3-point lead for the Lynx. Mustangs have to control the basketball. Frank to Frank. Taylor Frank has it stolen. Macy Bogey throws it off of Kurt. Peyton Simpson receives it down to Courtney Frank. And with 1.2 seconds left, Molly Bogey fouls Courtney Frank. My land, that was a play. Courtney Frank had a nice pass to Taylor Frank, and she got stopped at Coffin's corner. Courtney Frank to put this game away, and she does. Coach Nate Sanderson calls one more timeout. He's got one left in his pocket. Why not? He wants no chance here on the 1.2-second shot. So things that you talk about here, first of all, absolutely no foul. 1.2, there's only time for one more shot, and you don't want a three-pointer somehow luckily going in from a three-quarter court shot and fouled at the same time. So reminding players, no pressure here. Let them go. If the free throw is missed. If the free throw is made, you still let it go. So basically just a quick reminder, do nothing here depending, no matter the outcome. Oh, Courtney Frank does miss the free throw. Flanagan with a last-second shot. Does not go. And that'll be the final score, 50-49. to 46. The Mustangs score 25.5 in each half and end up winning by 4 points over the number 3 Class 1A ranked North Linn Lynx. They fall to 19-1. Mustangs will lift to 13-7 as they get set to move forward. Just one game left of the regular season. Coming tomorrow night, that'll be West Delaware coming to town. I'll be out of town for that game, but you'll be able to catch Kirk Wishmeyer and Paul Fugit, or some combination of them, as they get set to bring that action to you. And then regionals start on Saturday. And if you happen to follow sports, Class 3A Region 2 is where Mount Vernon landed, and Coach Sanderson kind of previewed that for you on his pregame speech. That puts us in with our arch rivals to the south. Solon is number 1 seeded in the Class 3A Region 2. And Mount Vernon will take on Tipton. 6-14 is their current record. That'll be at 7 o'clock here in Mount Vernon on Saturday night, February 11th. And advancing, if they're able to advance, second round game will be on Wednesday the 15th, also at 7 o'clock right here in Mount Vernon. And then with a little extra effort from the Mustangs, they'll find themselves likely playing that Solon rematch, third of the season, for the regional final and a chance to go to state. So a great game between the Lynx from North Linn and the Mustangs from Mount Vernon. So appreciative in high school basketball, boys and girls alike, when coaches have the foresight to put themselves up against top-rated competition, no matter the class. And so you see Mount Vernon coaches from Coach Willems at the volleyball during volleyball season, our basketball coaches, our football coaches, all the time playing top-rated opponents outside of class to try to make our athletes better. And tonight you see that out of Coach Wheatley. Congratulations to the Lynx on another great season and a chance to continue on and do something great to end their season. This is not a bump in the road in any means for either team. In fact, I think Coach Sanderson pretty much called this a wash game, or a game with really no consequences, because a great opportunity for both to just be challenged by a team that really attacks the weaknesses for each team, the height and the athleticism of Mount Vernon against the shooting and the quick hands, the defensive intensity of North Linn will serve both these teams well in the postseason. So we wish the best of luck to the North Linn Lynx. So player of the game, where do you go? Great night tonight, and it came from all areas. Peyton Simpson had an excellent second half. She shot 3 of 4 in the second half for 7 points. Aaron Jackson went 1 for 3 for a total of 4 of 7 on the night. Ends with 12. Peyton Simpson with 10. Chloe Meester just 1 bucket in the second half. Really only 1 shot and missing 2 of those free throws. Finishes with 6. Lily C., I've got her only 1 shot in the second half, 3 for 6 from the line. So she finishes with 5 points. Courtney Frank, she got just 1 bucket in the second half. Got 3 more from the line, though. So she gets end up with 9 from my tally. And looks like Cameron Brand just 0 for 1 from the free throw line and didn't hit a field goal in the second half. So she finishes with 3. Quick math here. I think I'm missing two buckets. So I got double digits for Aaron Jackson and Peyton Simpson. Courtney Frank, you got to look at it when you think about player of the game and what constitutes a player that really either sustained the momentum or turned the game for the Mustangs. Erin Jackson getting us off to such a strong start, got the bulk of her points in the first half. Didn't see a lot of her in the second half. Had some good activity, took some good looks. Courtney Frank, constant, staunch defense, playing that extended perimeter that was necessary against the Lynx tonight. Not a lot of points, but nearly double-double, and she might have got a double-double if I had maybe just a couple of other buckets recorded for the Mustangs. I think I'm shy 5 points in my total. I also think Peyton Simpson coming out, just one bucket in the first half, coming out and getting some really great buckets, some awesome rebounds was key to her victory. So I think tonight I'm going to give the nod to Peyton Simpson for player of the game and the way that she recovered and led in that second half. But, boy, one of those that could have gone anywhere. And right as I finished that statistic and award, in steps Coach Nate Sanderson. Coach, this was a hard-fought game.
Yeah, it was a great game for us. Obviously, it was a good game for them, I think, too. And it's a good time of year for us to play that right before the postseason. And as we talked about before the game, North Linn was going to give us a lot of different things tonight that we haven't seen a lot of, but that I thought was going to make us better. And obviously, they're just relentless in their full court press. Makes, misses, it doesn't matter. They keep coming after you. And I thought, we finished with 20 turnovers and a couple untimely ones in the fourth quarter where we just gave away some possessions there. But, we did enough down the stretch. And the crazy thing is if we would have made some simple plays here and there, we probably would have won this game by 15 or 20. And, so we're pretty close. And, North Linn, for them, obviously I've been on that bench a couple of years ago and coached all those kids. And I think Coach Wheatley, after he calms down a little bit, he'll probably be happy that this happened because there are just things that, when you're playing a team, I don't want to say like us, like we're a great team, but just we've been able to challenge them, and I think, for me to know them pretty well, that helps them to be able to grow too. So, we looked at this as win or lose. The brackets are out. Conference is already decided. There's really not a lot of stakes for us or for them, and we were both going to grow from it no matter what, and be a good conversation with him. We'll exchange scouting reports and talk about how we prep for each other, and so, we're going to glean a lot from this, but great win for our kids. Made just enough free throws down the stretch to make it comfortable, and obviously, North Linn made some huge shots down the stretch to stay around, too. So a couple of really good teams tonight, a really good battle.
Yeah, it really was. And I give kudos to you and Coach Wheatley for recognizing the matchup is when you think of postseason preparation, this was a perfect matchup because your strengths were their weaknesses and their strengths are your weaknesses. So when you talk about challenging each other, your big's inside, your athleticism to be able to extend that perimeter defense and really challenge them in ways that they're not capable of absorbing very easily. And then you're right. Their defensive intensity is impressive.
Yeah, for sure. And they're able to play 10 kids. They bring that second unit in. And Coach Orvis, who did the scout for this one, said, gosh, we really got to try to make hay when the second group was out. I think they outscored us when the second group was on the floor.
Yeah.
So, they play hard, and they've got nothing to lose when they're out there. And I thought Emily Buter, for their big that came off the bench, she really did a nice job. Got a bunch of offensive rebounds in that stretch in the third quarter there. Yep. But, again, one of the things that's fun about this team, you look at the scoring, 50 points, but you got Simpson with 10, E with 12, and then 7, 8, 4, 1, 6, 2. You got everybody contributing in some way or another, and I think that's what is so different about us, in a lot of ways that, and it's not any disrespect to Callie Levine or Jenna Tweed or, some of the great players in our conference, but you never know night in and night out, and we've got a lot of capable players who can contribute, and pretty exciting for him to do it tonight.
Absolutely. Well, Erin Jackson, 3 points against Solon, and then coming in tonight gets 10. And she does it gets 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she did it in a great way. She did a lot of it up front in that first quarter, and then took some great shots in the second. In the second half, that really kept your offense at risk for the Lynx from a defensive perspective.
Yeah, if you're, teams that are going to have to send help inside, Marion did it. Obviously North Linn, every catch past the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game, there's 2 or 3 people coming down. If you've got people that can catch on those kickouts and score it, whether it's Simpson tonight, Cam hit a big one in the first half, and he getting 4 of those, that makes it tough, and I would do the same thing that Coach Wheatley did. I would take the middle away and just see if we could make enough threes to beat him, and fortunately tonight we did. But the other thing that's fun to watch with E is that her release has gotten so much quicker, from last year where we started as a freshman. She just has such a nice rhythm where it's lock, load, and release. And it's fun to watch when she's feeling good about her shot, and obviously she's shooting it pretty good right now.
Yeah, so you step forward from this one. You've got one more. You got senior night tomorrow night. West Delaware coming to town. An opportunity to close out the regular season, knowing where you sit in with the postseason regional pairings. You like that potential follow-up matchup with Solon down the line if you look aggressively outward.
Well, we got a lot of work to do before we get there.
You do, absolutely. I mean, Davenport Assumption's not going to be an easy contest.
Matt Bolger's a great coach at Tipton. They don't necessarily have quite as much to work with this year, but he does a great job. We're certainly not moving past that game, before we see it. And obviously Assumption, almost beat number 1 Pleasant Valley on Friday night. They lost by 3 points there. So they're playing very well, very athletic, really good man-to-man defense, and they can score in some different ways. So I'm certain we drew the best number 2 seed, I think, in the region or 3 seed, with Assumption. It's nice that it's here, obviously, and so, we look forward to being at home for 2 games. And yeah, we'd love to get to Solon. I mean, that was the takeaway from Friday night, as disappointing as it was for that last shot to not go down. I don't think there was any doubt in our locker room after the game that we'd like to see him again. We feel confident that we can beat him, and I think they might know that we can beat him too, and that for us, that would be fun. I'm not sure if Coach Smith, I know he doesn't really want to play us a 3rd time, but again, a lot of work to be done before then. That would be an exciting game for our kids and a great reward for a good season here. But we'll take it one game at a time, bouncing back tomorrow with no practice or pregame prep. We'll watch a little film after school and review some things for West Delaware. It'll be a challenge for us. They've played a lot of teams close this year, just haven't been able to get over the hump. But close game, hard-fought game like this tonight, we'll just see where our bodies are at, but very exciting. Obviously, it's fun to close one of these out against a really good team, and again, making just enough plays down the stretch to be comfortable on the last possession is a nice change for us.
Yeah. You got knock on wood. You got to appreciate where the health is at for the team. You look good. No nagging injuries. You're getting solid play all the way down into the bench. I got a chance. Our fans got to watch the JV action tonight without an audio feed, but you're getting some good minutes from these players that are playing hard down at the JV level. Do you plan on seeing some of those come up for instance, as we get into the postseason? Or are you going to stay pretty close to where you're at? It's hard to say, I know, but you've got some bench depth that you could build pretty quickly.
I think some of that just depends on on the game. I mean, at this point, our rotation is shortened just a little bit, even from the last 2 games. Niehaus didn't play Friday, and Taylor played maybe 4 minutes on Friday and maybe 3 tonight. And I think that's probably a little bit more typical as you're getting into elimination games, and sometimes that gets tightened up. But at the same time, I don't think if Meester got in some foul trouble, we have no concern about Brindley going in and eating up some of her minutes, or if Taylor or Josie or E have to play more. We have players that can do some things and are reliable and bring some different things to the floor. And I talked with Taylor last night a little bit, even at our shoot around, just how much what it gives us as a coaching staff to be able to bring in somebody like her to stay in front of somebody when we're going man late, trying to match up with people and stuff. And Ashlyn Steen played that role for us last year in the second half of the season, and not every team has that. So whether, she's not playing a ton, but man, she makes us so much better in those really crucial possessions, and we've just got a lot of players willing to play a role like that. So, and the JV team, to their credit, Coach Moss, Coach Z, just 1 loss on the season. I think this is their 15th win in a row tonight. 1 setback against CPU way earlier in the season, with obviously 1 to go tomorrow. So they've had a great run, and it's been fun to see a lot of those players grow throughout the year as well.
Well, we're looking forward to the postseason. Can't look forward too quickly because we want to see this season wrap up in a really positive fashion tomorrow night against West Delaware. Thoughts about West Delaware? Again, you said there's not a lot of time. There's no time to practice. Not a lot of time to recover. That game was still. It's hard to imagine this group of athletes not wanting to go full out against West Delaware.
Yeah, they'll be ready to go for sure. We haven't played very many back-to-backs this year. That's by design. Just it's nice to obviously spread them out.
Yeah.
The nice thing about the postseason schedule is we will get 3 days in between Tuesday and Saturday. So Wednesday we are having Jason Caldwell. I don't know if you've been reading on our email list, but anyway, it's a short story for you here,
Yeah.
Jim, but Jason Caldwell owns the world record for the fastest rowboat across the Atlantic Ocean in a 4-man crew.
Oh, my gosh.
And the world record for rowing across the Pacific Ocean in a 4-man crew. And so he, as a former college athlete, almost made the Olympic team. Anyway, we had him on our podcast about 2 months ago and just kind of struck up a friendship a little bit. So we've gone back and forth, and he speaks at Fortune 500 companies when he's not doing these adventures. And I said, hey, would you like to come and talk to our team sometime this year? So he's going to talk a little bit about his adventures and things that he's learned out on the ocean tomorrow. So that'll be kind of a nice change, Wednesday.
Yep.
Nice change of pace. And we've watched a documentary on kind of his crossings and stuff, and some amazing stories and just human resilience, So anyway, it'll be kind of fun doing something a little bit different, light day on Wednesday, and then we'll start getting ready Thursday and Friday. So
good stuff. Last question for you. I can't let you out of the booth tonight without asking about the khaki pants.
Yeah, so the story there, when I went to North Linn, Coach Wheatley and I coached against each other when I was at Springville and North Linn for 8 years, and we did not have a lot of success. I think I was 2-6 against him, something like that. But we never wore khaki pants at Springville, and they always wore khaki pants for big games, state games, whatever. So I go to North Linn, we make the postseason, obviously, make it to the state tournament, and during the postseason run, he's like, everybody's in khaki pants. So got to fit in and do the khaki pants, and we chart our stats shooting when we're wearing khaki pants. I send them to him, he sends them to us, whatever. So they've had instances of making 18 threes against Marquette when they're wearing khaki pants. When we made 15 last year against Clinton in the khaki pants. So we've used them as slump busters sometimes, but didn't get a lot out of them yet this year. But anyway, so Wheatley and I were going back and forth over the weekend and talking about if we're going to do this every year, which I think we're going to try to do, maybe this needs to become the khaki bowl, and we have a traveling trophy and start getting some more people in khaki here for the big game. So
fantastic.
Anyway, that's where the story comes from, and gosh, they were lucky for us tonight. So
they were. Well, congratulations again. This was a great fight. I know that this win means a lot to you in the right way, and so I love to see this start a new tradition for you. It's a great crowd. It's a great team. It's a great tradition, and I would love to see Mount Vernon do something with that down the road. So good luck tomorrow night. We'll be looking forward to connecting with you further down the road, and I'll be seeing you on Saturday. I think Kirk and Paul have you tomorrow night.
Okay.
But go Mustangs, and have a great week ahead.
And tomorrow night, pregame interview with Laura Swart.
Laura Swart, the last of your seniors, right?
Got it.
Hey, great job tonight.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Nace Anderson, and a fantastic win tonight for the Mustangs, 50-46 over a soon-to-be new arch rival in North Linn, a class war between Class 1A and Class 3A right now in these two programs. But a lot of history there, as Coach was able to preview with us. Appreciate you sticking with us tonight. Mustang Vision, I'm Jim Beatty. I wish everybody a good and safe night. It's breezy out there. Get in, get warm, and have some fun.